Hi, folks. It's Larry Talks again. It's been a while since we've seen you because I've had some computer problems like everybody else in the world. But I've been wanting to do a series on coming out because mainly most people who watch this program are gay, and it's produced by gay series. Um, why is coming out important? Well, it's really, really hard. I guess, like any teenagers, when you come out, first of all, you're young. I wasn't. I was 36. And a lot of people I know are that age. And so I want to talk about four different programs, four different points of view. And I'm doing this simply because it is so traumatic for people who do this. Can you think of, yeah, I mean, even famous people like Ellen DeGeneres and um, other famous actors who've come out. It's been very traumatic for them, even later on in life. So it's not an easy thing. I mean, that's, I guess, the one thing I can say for sure. It isn't easy. And you have to trust your instincts. Your family's known you all your life. But when you come out in adolescence, both you and your family have to face a world which you don't know, which is a gay world. So there's a big problem both you and your family have. Is what is this all about? Even if they did accept it, which they probably don't. Secondly, the big problem is that your family knows you from birth. They know you like no one else knows you. So, I mean, that's a plus and a minus. It's a plus in that they should accept you. And it's hard for me. Next program, I'll go into the whole thing of religion and how unbelievable it is that families actually don't accept their children because of religion. That's a separate issue, which we'll deal with next time. In my case, ultimately, the most important thing here is telling your story, telling your truth. And it's very difficult because you don't know what your truth is. And everybody wants to deny that you're gay. It's just a phase, blah, all this BS. Or you're just bisexual. Oh, it's just a phase. And you're an adolescent and so on. But once you've gotten the idea, and I didn't get the idea until I was 36, and I'd married for 7 years, and I came out. At that point, my father was dead. So that wasn't a problem. He would never have accepted. I mean, that wasn't an issue because he died. And then the divorce took place after he died. And I have to say that my mother, and mothers are pretty good this way, she never, ever said anything to me about it. Now, of course, my brothers told my mother that I was gay, because after all, that's such juicy gossip, right? And I have to say to my mother's credit, who only had a third grade education. No, she graduated from high school, but she was deaf. She never, ever brought it up in my lifetime. And she came and visited me for weeks at a time. And so she handled it really well. You're lucky if you have parents like that, or a parent like, even just one parent like that, or even siblings like that. I know, I have some friends who are in their 40s who have never come out. You know why? Because the family doesn't want to know. Can you imagine? Identical twins, age 44. The family doesn't want to know. One of them lives with a guy, and the other guy is never married. And they're not effeminate. I mean, and they like sports, and they're close to their families, and yet they've never come out. So you have to kind of intuitively know whether you sort of know whether your family wants to know or not. And you have to go by that gut feeling. That's the most important thing, I think. The most important guide. It's not easy because for you, when you come out, you still have to deal with the tremendous unknown at that point in your life of what gay life is like and what gay people are like. So you're dealing with this tremendous, I guess, of course, heterosexuals have to deal with it too, but it's much more difficult because of the social taboos against gayness, and also just the ignorance of society and yourself about what the gay life is like. And there's not much solution to that. Um, I don't know that. Yeah, I've discussed this with people, and I just can't give advice. You cannot give advice on something like this. You have to feel your way. I'm talking about it, number one, because it was a big deal in my life to deal with it. And in a sense, you're always coming out your entire lifetime. You know, I have to say, here's something I would say to my students about this sort of lifestyle stuff. How much time a day do you think about that you're gay? Sometimes a lot, sometimes not at all. But how much time do you think other people who know you're gay think about you as being gay? 5 minutes, 1 minute at the most, I would guess. It's not a big deal. So it shouldn't, what matters is what you feel about it, not what anybody else feels about it, because it's your ball game, your life, and you have to figure it out for yourself. But to be obsessed, it's kind of funny. Let me just give you two examples of things I had to deal with coming out that never ended. I am 76 today. When I was 36, I came out, and I never saw my nephews and nieces from 36 to 60 when I retired. They would not come to my house, and I never gave it any thought because I lived 150 miles away from my relatives. And then I found out when I retired that in-laws in both, well, I had two brothers with kids, and they were all told that I was a child molester. Now, how am I supposed to deal with that? I can't deal with it because I don't even know they're thinking. Number one, it never entered my mind. Number two, it never entered my mind that they would think this sort of thing about me. And then when I found out the kind of stuff that they said about me, it was just horrible. And it ruined a relationship. I mean, I went through a lifetime, basically, till I was 60 years old, without knowing my nephews and nieces, who were kept from me because in-laws said I was a child molester. How do you deal with that? How do you just have no defense against them. Not only, first of all, I didn't know they were doing this to me, but, I wondered a lot about, well, why don't they ever visit me? And then later I told them, oh, they would never allow those children to be alone with me. And I never even thought of such a horrible thought. Another one, I remember someone saying to me, I took care of a mentally ill guy for a while. I had a separate apartment, and I let him live there. And someone said to me, oh, I thought you were lovers. And this was somebody, a colleague. And I thought, well, gee, that's odd. How am I supposed to deal with that? I mean, again, and all I can say, and this is important, people are going to think all kinds of things about you. But you know what? It doesn't matter, because the only thing that matters is what you think about yourself. And when you think about these things, do you think I obsess about this child molest? There's nothing I can do about it. It's their problem. It's not my problem. It took me a while. Well, I mean, it had a serious effect on my life because I was denied access and a relationship with my nephews and nieces until I was 60 years old. And that's serious. But I had no control over that. And this is the tragedy, I guess, of being gay, in the sense that society makes all kinds of judgments about us in which we have no control. So what are you supposed to do with that? Again, all I can advise you is you have to listen to your intuition. Probably your family, look, your family probably, your family knows. Your family knows what you know. They know who you are. And they know if you're not, they give you all this stuff about dating and stuff, and you don't follow up. Well, they know something's going on. And if they don't ask you, they don't want to know. That's my take on it. And I don't know. I don't want to give you advice on that, because some people are so effeminate that you just can't miss it. And it has to be discussed at some point because there's so much drama about it. In my case, that was not the case. And with most men, it's not the case. I mean, I don't want to go into the whole thing about tops and bottoms and all that because the differences in gay society, I think they're pretty false too. But people do decide to take an identity like I'm top or I'm bottom or something like that, and that kind of definition causes a lot of discussion and a lot of, I mean, even among gay people. So, I mean, that's something you have to deal with. But again, wow, that's an awful lot to deal with. What is, I don't even believe those things exist. I think it's nonsense, but it's out there. I mean, if a guy says to you, or a woman or a man says to you, I'm the top, what are you going to do with that? They've defined something. They've given you something in the ballpark. And what are you supposed to do with that? Well, you have to decide, just like your family has to decide how they're going to handle your identity. All I can say is our time is almost up. How can I conclude here? I'm trying to pass on some of my own experience and wisdom, which is mainly follow your intuition. Your family knows more than you ever want them to, and try to be sincere. Try to be truthful. I can only think of Shakespeare. Above all things, to thine own self be true, and this follows as night the day. If you are true to yourself, you can't be false to any man. Your own inner truth is the only thing you own, the only thing you have, the only thing that really matters. And you have to listen to that, be true to that in yourself. As to your family, well, they can handle just about it. They're going to have to handle it one way or the other. But as I say, you can feel, you can know whether they want to know or not. That's the only advice I can give you. You have a sense of that, and I wouldn't push it. If you feel they don't want to know or they don't want to discuss it, then leave it alone. But as I say, usually things happen in our life and nothing ever happened in my life that made me have to discuss it with my parents, which is cool. I mean, that's a good thing, huh? But then I was married, I was 36. But you'd be surprised how many people come out later in life. And so next time we'll talk about religion. We haven't mentioned that because that's the biggest problem with coming out to your family too. So it's kind of family part 2, religion. That's what we're going to do next time. Thank you for listening. My email is mormonl, MOORMANL at AOL.com. And that was what it used to be. I had trouble with it for a while. Now it's back. It's fixed. And as I say, I thank Eric Lessard for producing these things, and they're going very well. We've had thousands of viewers. The reason I continue to do this is we have thousands of viewers. And you ask, if you write me a comment, I will write an answer. Unless it's an insult, which but I have commented and I will comment, and I am influenced by the comments and questions that people have. So we'll see you next time. Today is March 20th, 2016, and that's where we're at. This is probably program number 8 in our series. See you next time.